Bulls defense and giving up offensive rebounds is a problem yet again as the Bulls get embarrassed by the New Orleans Pelicans. Talk about it right after this. What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome back to Whole Lotta Bull. I'm Troy. Follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Troy, but you follow the show at Whole Lotta Bull. And that was a whole lot of bullshit. The Chicago Bulls go down to New Orleans and lose to the going into this game a 2-win Pelicans team, 143 to 130. And this is another embarrassing performance from the Chicago Bulls. The New Orleans Pelicans had 2 wins coming into the season. They have fired their head coach, Willie Green. James Borrego, the interim coach, was 0-5 coming into this game as the interim coach. And the Bulls just go, "Here you go, Coach Borrego. Here's your first W as the Pelicans coach." The Bulls one thing I'm gonna say about now, I'm not making excuses. At the end of the day, these guys are professional athletes. But I'm glad this stretch of games for the Chicago Bulls is over and done with, because they had a rough stretch of games. Now, I mentioned the other day they had a stretch there of 5 games in 7 days. I think that turned into, like, 7 games in 11 days, I think it was. West Coast trip, double overtime, back-to-backs, like 2 sets of back-to-backs in this. And then, obviously, they go home to Chicago, play 1 game against the Wizards. You can clearly see that these guys were tired in that game against the Washington Wizards, and Washington just brought the energy. And they get straight back on a plane, head down, on the day off, have to get on a plane ride down to New Orleans to face another young, energetic team, albeit, again, they've been a bad team so far this season. I don't think the New Orleans Pelicans are as bad as their record shows, to be perfectly honest. And when you got Zion Williamson, who has missed games again so far this season with hamstring injury. They're also missing in this game uh, Herb Jones, Jordan Poole, DeJounte Murray. I still don't think the New Orleans Pelicans are that bad. Derek Queen, as I said in the last video, now he only finishes with 8 points, 5 boards, and 4 assists this game, but Derek Queen's been killing it lately. So, in comparison to how he has been playing, the Bulls did a fairly solid job on Queen in this game. Now, the Bulls in this game, no Nikola Vucevic. I haven't seen the reason as to why he missed this game yet. Obviously, just get home from work straight into watching the game. Unfortunately, didn't get to catch up on all the news prior to tip off. In this game, so I think I heard something on the broadcast about a knee complaint, and maybe something. I do remember something happening with Vucevic, in that Wizards game. So maybe it's something to do with that. Um, And obviously, like, Kevin Huerter is not playing this game as well. Isaac Okoro's still, out again, and Dalen Terry was out again, and obviously still no Zach Collins. Mm. So you're missing a bunch of guys that would be in your normal rotation. So Billy Donovan, with the absence of Nikola Vucevic at your center, naturally you think, "Okay, no Zach Collins, so no Nikola Vucevic. Jalen Smith is gonna get the start at the center position." No, he starts Patrick Williams. And then has Josh Giddey guarding Derek Queen. Now, when you look at Derek Queen's numbers, the 8 points, 5 boards, and was a team worst -5 when he was on the court. You can, in a roundabout way, saying that maybe Josh Giddey guarding Derek Queen actually did a pretty decent job. But obviously, Zion Williamson being back in this game now, you wanted obviously Patrick Williams in the start this game guarding Zion because obviously Zion's a fucking big dude. So you want one of your strongest guys on the court guarding Zion, Patrick Williams. But it just didn't make any sense guarding Patrick. 2 of 9 from the field, 2 of 7 from beyond the arc, 4 boards, 6 points. So, numbers not too dissimilar from Derek Queen there, but I would have had Jalen Smith starting at the center. Like he came off the bench in 26 minutes, 13 points, 6 boards, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. Don't One thing that annoys me with any team in any sport is that when you change your rotations or change your lineups to guard them, make them guard you. Make them play to your strengths. Don't try and play to theirs. Now, was Billy Donovan trying to get this team, like trying to make the New Orleans Pelicans run? You look at this team, Jeremiah Fears, Trey Murphy, Derek Queen, Zion, Jose Alvarado, Eves Missy. These guys will get out and run. Now, while the stats say that this is one of the slowest paced teams, and that's generally because, Zion Williamson's he's gonna post up and do his thing down in the paint, hence why their pace isn't as fast as it probably could be. The New Orleans Pelicans, they're still a very young team, and they will get out and run if you wanna challenge them to a running contest. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with what Billy Donovan did in this game. Obviously with all the injuries the Bulls got, Noah Essengay got some more tick, but he only played 2 minutes, whereas he played 4 minutes the other day against the Washington Wizards. If you're only my frustration there, especially when you're already down Nikola Vucevic, you're down, you're down Dayton Terry, you're down Isaac Okoro, you're down Zach Collins still, all these guys that you're missing, and your number 12 pick in the draft can only get 2 minutes. Now, people can say he's not physically ready, and yeah, the guy needs to put on some weight over the next few years. But 2 minutes, what's the fucking point of putting him on that plane? Leave him in Chicago, let him trade with Windy City for fuck's sake. If you're gonna play in 2 minutes, what's the point? What experience is he gaining from that at all? 2 minutes. I mean, I don't understand. Like Julian Phillips, like, hey, no slight to Julian Phillips. He, played alright, 7 points, but this is your number 12 pick in the draft, and he's playing 2 minutes, and Julian Phillips is playing nearly 15. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. To me, maybe that should just be the other way around. Like, this is your number 12 pick in the draft. This is the kid that you're investing a lot of your future into. Obviously, Marcus Buzelis, Kobe White, Josh Giddey, Noah Osengay. Put the kid on the court, especially against these lesser inferior opponents, like inferior. And if you're just listening, I'm doing quotation marks when I say inferior. Get this kid on the court and let him play. Let him just tell him to go out there and play basketball. Don't go, oh, we need you. Make sure you're in this position and all that sort of stuff, and try and make him think too much. Just say, get out there and play. Play to your strengths. Get out and run. Defend. Like play like Noah Osengay. Just play freely. If the shots are there, take it. Play defense, go crash the boards, get out and run. Just just go play basketball. But instead, Billy Donovan just for some reason just decides to go, "Nah, you're all good. Just we're only gonna play you, give you a little bit of a run, and that's it. That's enough." Uh, Now this was while Josh Giddey's numbers in this game don't look overall too bad. 21 points, 7 boards, 6 assists, 6 of 12 from the field, 4 of 10 from beyond the arc. Now, I haven't looked up Josh Giddey's previous record of attempts from 3, but I have a feeling I just have a gut feeling that 10 10 attempts from beyond the arc is nearing, if not a career high for Josh Giddey. But hey, makes 4 of them, so 40%, 5 or 6 from the free throw line, so getting to the line as well. But 5 turnovers in this game, and some of them were pretty bad. Um, so again, but turnovers for a whole for the team was bad. 7, like Kobe White had 5 turnovers as well. So 17 all up for Chicago. New Orleans only had 10 turnovers. Now, the shooting numbers overall for the Chicago Bulls and 130 points. When you look at it, these numbers like this, you score 130 points. You shoot 52% from the field. You go 20 of 50 from beyond the arc, 40%. You go 24 of 32 from the free throw line for 75%. You look at those numbers just there specifically. You're probably going to go that yeah, that's a dub. That's a win. You shoot 50, 40, 75, you score 130 points. That's a W. Well, not when you look down the other end where okay, you shot 43 of 82 from the field. They shot 53 of 104. They had 22 more shot attempts than you. So what does it tell you? You're giving up offensive rebounds. How many? You gave up 19. You gave up 19 offensive rebounds to the New Orleans Pelicans. They out rebounded you as a total 55 to 33. 13 steals for the New Orleans Pelicans. So you're giving them ultimately what it comes down to is that offensively you couldn't look after the ball. You couldn't clean up the defensive rebounds. You're giving them a whole shitload of second opportunities, which they took full advantage of. And then there was a lot in this game where they were just getting straight line drives to the basket. The Bulls defenders couldn't stay in front of nobody. So these are things that the Chicago Bulls need to clean up. Now, does this come from a factor of like, that large stretch of games where going into that West Coast trip, they had a 3-day break. And then they play a massive games in in a span in a couple of weeks. Now, if we pull up the schedule, let's go back to the first game of the road trip. So, obviously, you had that abysmal loss to the Detroit Pistons. That was on November 12th. Then they had 3 days off. So, you come into that nice and fresh. You lose to the Utah Jazz in double overtime. So that game's on November 16th. Then you play it back to back. You get the win against Denver. So there's your back to back. You got a day off. You play the Portland Trail Blazers. You get win at the buzzer thanks to Nikola Vucevic. So there's 3 games in 4 days. You're home against the Miami Heat after that little West Coast trip. You have 1 day off. Get smacked by Miami. So what are we looking at now? It's, was it 2 games in? So that's November 16, November 21. You're playing your 4th game in what is it, 5 or 6 days. Then you're on the second game of a back to back against the Washington Wizards. You scrape that one home by a point. Have a day off. You fly down to New Orleans. So from through November 16th to the 24th. So we've got the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21, 22, 23, 24. In 9 days, you have played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in 9 days. Now, people can go on all they want about professional athletes. You had a day's rest, you should be refreshed, ready to go. As I said after that game against the Washington Wizards, you go play 6 games in 9 days, traveling across the country, back to backs, double overtime. Go play 6 games in 9 days and see how fresh you're feeling at by the end of that. So thankfully now the Bulls have a 3-day break before they head down to Charlotte to play the Hornets. Now that game's on November 28th, so nice little gap there. Hopefully the Bulls get home. I If I was part of the planning of this, the Bulls would have flown home straight after this game. You get home to Chicago, you're probably not gonna get in your own bed until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. You got the day off tomorrow, or as it's coming into the morning when you guys are watching this. Day off, and then, so day off today. Now, tomorrow, well, tomorrow for you guys over in the States, because it's still 10 to 9 at night at the time of recording. You probably have a light session, get some recovery into these guys, and then on Thursday, you get bit more of a practice session in. Now, maybe it's still a bit like, I don't know what NBA practice sessions are like these days. Generally, they don't practice the way they used to back in the, the 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. It's all walkthroughs these days. There's no real practices anymore. That's all training camp. But there's an Now the Bulls, these players, now remember, these guys are still human beings. Yes, they paid millions of dollars to play a game, but they're still human. You just had 6 games in 9 days. These guys need a physical break, and they're gonna get that over the next 3 days. But come Thursday, on that last day of your rest, get back to it, get your mind right, get ready for the Charlotte Hornets, because you got that game, and then the next day you're in another back to back, and you got the Indiana Pacers in Indiana as well. So the Bulls are going to be in another 4-game trip as well. So New Orleans today. So that's Monday for you guys in the States. In Charlotte on Friday, at Indiana on Saturday, at Orlando next Monday. So another 4-game trip after being home for one game after a 3-game West Coast trip. So the Bulls need to get some shit together. They need to work out what's going wrong out there on the court. Like, I know us fans can see it, the defense is breaking down, the offensive rebounds, turnovers, all that sort of stuff. The players need to sit down themselves and work out, hey, what's going on out here? What are we going to do to address it and fix it? So it's great for Nikola Vucevic after the Wizards game to say that the way that they've been playing is not sustainable. But what actions are you actually going to put in place to fix this? Because you have a stretch of games coming up. The Bulls sitting at 9-8 now after that loss today, but the Bulls have a stretch of games. Like I said the other day, you look at these next 5 games. I want to see 4 Ws. I want 4. Now, shout out to Hayes, Chicago Bulls Central. He always talks about winning the week. All right, so to go on with Hayes's thing about winning the week, well, you got to beat Charlotte, you got to beat Indiana, get you to 2-1 for the week. Then next week, you got 4 games next week at Orlando, home against Brooklyn, home against Indiana, and then you're home against Golden State. 4 games there. Orlando game's gonna be tough. You've already been down there to once and beat them. Now, n by all accounts, Orlando's playing much better since that second game of the season, and they're gonna be looking for a little bit of payback after you punked them on their home court early in the season. Brooklyn. Now, by all accounts, that should be a win. No disrespect to the Brooklyn Nets, but the Bulls come in with the right mindset and wanna put the foot to the throat. That should be a 30-point W. The Pacers at home, and that will be the first time we get to see the City Edition jersey on the floor this season. Gotta get me one of those. But that should be another game that you absolutely put this team away and have this game done by three-quarter time. That way, same as Brooklyn Nets, you're resting Kobe, you're resting Josh Giddey, you're resting Vucevic, you're resting Marta Pozelis, and then you get ready for the Golden State Warriors. You know, Jimmy Butler comes to town, Steph Curry, big mouth Draymond Green. Take it to them, make them run. See if you can take it to them. Yeah, things have gotta improve and improve quickly for Chicago Bulls because otherwise that nice little start we had of the year, 6-1. Hey, we're 9-8 now, so we've gone, what, 3-7 since that 6-1 start. So not great. Now's the time to turn things around. You gotta get shit fixed and get it done now. Let's see a successful December, because even looking at the rest of that schedule for December, based on if the Chicago Bulls who open this season, and I'm not talking about the wins, I'm talking about the style of play. If the Chicago Bulls who started this season rock up for all of December, there's no reason why December can't be a successful month for the Chicago Bulls. There's just not. You got 2 games now. Looking at through the rest of the schedule, I've already gone up to Golden State Warriors. You got 2 game home and home against Cleveland, with a day between them. You got a home and home again. No, sorry, you got 2 games down in Atlanta, not home and home. It's 2 away games against the Hawks with a day in between. Have your little break for Christmas. You're at home against the Philadelphia 76ers, at home against Milwaukee, home against Minnesota, and home against New Orleans to end the year. No reason why December can't be a successful month. But as I said, you know, this game was just shit. The defense was shit. The rebounding was shit. It was just shit. Plain and simple. That's just what it was for the Chicago Bulls today. All right, guys. I've probably bored you enough now, so I'm gonna call it a night. So don't forget, you guys can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Troy. Follow the show at Whole Lotta Bull. Hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already on your way out. Drop some comments down below what you thought of this game, what needs to improve, and yeah, the Bulls get, like I said before, the Bulls get a 3-day much needed break, and let's hope things improve when they get back on the court against the Charlotte Hornets. And it's an NBA Cup game, big fucking deal. I don't care. I don't. I know I've said it before, and I'm gonna make sure everyone's well aware of it. The NBA Cup, I do not give a flying fuck about some Mickey Mouse bullshit. I don't care. I care about the regular season. I care about getting wins. If the Bulls were to ever to succeed in the NBA Cup, cool, congrats, whoopie doo. I don't give a fuck. I care about what's real and what actually matters, and that's the NBA season and getting to the playoffs. This Mickey Mouse bullshit, fuck it off. I don't like it. I'm sure David Stern's rolling in his grave. Anyway, guys, that's it. I'm out of here. Till next time, Bulls Nation. See red. Be good.